All right, there's a new Bob Lazar project, movie, documentary. Tons of different things going on with Bob Lazar. George Knapp apparently is involved. Maybe he is. Maybe he's, I don't know enough about it. But it's Down to Earth with me, Kristian Harloff. Thanks for joining me here today. So Bob Lazar is a polarizing figure to say the least, and it wouldn't be surprising if George Knapp was with him in this. It was George Knapp who kind of brought Bob Lazar to light in the first place back in the '80s, and now with everything that's been going on lately. Remember when these hearings happened, and when David Grush went public, Bob Lazar tweeted out something along the lines of like "told you" or something like that, and people still wonder. And you when you listen to someone like Rogan who talks how fascinating he finds Lazar, because he says there's a lot of people say that he just has never really changed his story, from from each and every time. Now he has never been someone who says he's going to testify. There's never someone who's said that he was going to continue to keep talking or whatnot. But it looks like there's new stuff, new information coming out. But here's this particular thing here. So this is the post, and it was the documentary is coming soon, exclusive interviews and brand new revelation. So this is the Project Gravatar, envisioned by the director in close collaboration with Bob Lazar. Is a groundbreaking three-part endeavor. The documentary, the VR experience, and the book are all aimed at finally presenting Bob Lazar's story in the most realistic and accurate way possible. Now, look, here's the first thing that someone's going to say, and I think fair enough to say when they look at this and say, okay, here he is, he's working with this guy, and they're he's finally talking about something, and now he can do it, but you got to pay for it in a VR experience, you got to pay for it in a book, and you got to pay to rent it in a documentary. Now, argument one is, okay, well, he's just looking to get himself a dime, make himself some money, and, hasn't been in the UAP spotlight in a while. So now maybe that's what he's doing. That could be argument one. Argument two would be like, no, with everything happening right now and everything going on, and the fact that this is, as Lou Elizondo and countless others have said, that financially this hurts people when they talk about it too much, that maybe this is something that if he can do, that he can get his word out more. And because if he's able to present this in new ways and spread the word out more, that he's able to present things that he's never talked about before, and to do it in this particular way as more and more people are coming forward and more things are happening. But as I said on a video, I think it was yesterday, that it does seem, I think Jay Stratton is a newer guy. Well, when I say newer guy, I mean someone who's been in he's the names that when I started covering this, right, is that it was Elizondo, Leslie Kean, Gary Nolan, David Grush, James Fox, right? Those are the names that you hear over and over and over again. And then whether or not it's Chris Mellon or it's there's tons. Carl Nell, more and more names those were the ones though that would be like, well, those are the ones that we keep hearing, and it's like that little circle, right? Bob Lazar, Stephen Greer were like on the outside of that. And it's like, well, those two guys, like the ones that I just mentioned, it's like these are the groups that's working together. And even when Lou Elizondo was on Rogan, Rogan asked him about Lazar, Elizondo didn't really have a opinion on it. Like it was like it was as if he never really even talked about it with anybody. But when I was mentioning Stratton before, it's like Stratton now seems to be a name that's popping up a lot more. And not that he hadn't been involved, I'm just saying that there are spotlights that are always shown in anything that is whatever field it is. And right now, for better or for worse, for what he does certain things he was saying about Lou Elizondo, things that he's been talking about. Seemed like they were colleagues and close colleagues at one point, but now they're kind of on the opposite ends of things. And now, from what I think George Knapp and other people have hinted at, is that Stratton has a book coming out also. So it does all tie back into books and dollars and all that too. Now, does that mean that because people are trying to make money off it, that it's not factual? That doesn't mean that at all. Does it mean that this Bob Lazar stuff isn't factual and that there aren't actual things that could come out that you're like, whoa, I remember where I was when that thing was announced and I saw that thing. It's always interesting to see because I've mentioned this, and I think that everybody should kind of feel this way too, because there's nothing really proven. You're allowed to say, I don't believe that. Totally fair. Um, I just have a problem with anybody saying that's not true. Not believing it is one thing. Saying that's not true, this guy's a liar. He's BS. And so someone in the comments will say that. Hard for me to say because I can't. Can you, for the person that's writing that, can you invest that or can you do some investigating on it and say to me, I definitively found this out, no matter how wild the claim is? Even when it comes to like implants and other things that people are talking about, that's too crazy. It's not true. I don't know. I can't prove it that it's not. You could tell me that I walked in yesterday. You tell me I was making eggs. I went outside and there was someone flying around the house. There was just someone flying. He was waving to me and saying hi, and then he flew away. I could say I don't believe that, but I can't tell you if you really believe it. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if I believe it, but I'm not going to tell you that you didn't see it. I say I don't know if he saw it. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't really think that can happen. You're allowed to feel that way, but definitively saying that didn't happen, I can't tell you that. I wasn't there. If there was someone flying around your house, then I guess it was. I don't know. So, Bob Lazar, there's just too much there for me to say definitively didn't happen. And so I'm interested to see what else is he going to say. What other stories are out there? And I'll be checking out this documentary. I'll be checking out the VR experience too. I'll probably check that out too. What the hell's that? That would be kind of interesting if they put the VR experience of like crafting exactly what he saw. I'm getting excited thinking about that. Like if it's like, okay, this is what the VR experience is actually. You're going to go through what he went through, and we have recreated what he was working on, and this is what it is. That would be pretty phenomenal. So, yeah, let's do a VR experience. I'm in. I just convinced myself. Anyway, that's it for today. What do you think about this? Do you think this is something that is interesting? And where do you stand on Bob Lazar? I guess that's the question I want to ask. Where do you stand on Bob Lazar? My question is, I don't know. And do you think you can definitively tell somebody that didn't happen? Do you think that I have the right to say that? I can say it didn't happen. Not true. Anytime I see these debunking reporters going, no, this person's a liar, didn't happen. Show me the proof. How do you know? How do you know? Anyway, I don't know. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already done it, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys on Monday. All right. Peace out. Crazy. I don't even know when it comes out. When's it come out? Soon. I got to see it.